To Your Health with Dina Khader. My name is Dan Rubidoux, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about avoiding that holiday weight gain. I think we all get a little afraid this time of year that our waistbands are going to expand a little, and we want to avoid that if we can. So can you help us with it, Dina?
Yeah, sure, Dan. I mean, people have this misconception that eating fat will make them fat. Actually, it's not true.
Really?
It's really the cooked fats, the saturated fats that are unhealthy for us, and those will make us gain weight. But fats in the raw, processed form, like olive oil, coconut oil, for those of you who love the taste of coconut oil, those actually are very beneficial fats for
Really?
us.
So it's not just about getting your fats out of your diet. That's the first thing you're saying. That's not
exactly.
It. What about calories? I think a lot of us we count our calories. That's where our focus goes. Is that the right way to avoid the weight gain?
The reason why it isn't, Dan, I mean, the old theory was that it's calorie in, calorie out, and that's
Sure.
how it works. But the problem is it's the quality of the calorie that you're eating. And in fact, when we eat a lot of cooked foods that are higher in calories, you're more likely to gain weight with that than with foods even with the same calorie content that are in the raw form, because the enzymes in the raw foods help you metabolize those calories more efficiently.
So some calories are better than other calories?
In the sense of the way the food is prepared, exactly. Another good example is a baked potato versus, let's say a boiled potato. Boiled potatoes have less calories than baking a potato, and again, it's the way it's been cooked, it's been prepared.
Interesting.
It is, even if you didn't put any fat on the potato. This is even before you put the fat on the potato.
So if people are hungry and they feel like they need, as the holidays go by, they're getting stressed, they feel like they need that midday snack or whatever, it's not necessarily calories they should be looking at, but the type of food.
The quality of the food, the way it's been prepared, that's what's more important. It is. Same thing with giving people an example, like eating raw carrots. Again, don't do the baby carrots because those have much more sugar than the regular unprocessed carrots. Then the ones that have the green tops on them, those are much better for you. And it's been the way they've hybridized the whole carrot seeds. I mean, that's what's gone on with that. But raw carrots have much less sugar in them than cooked carrots. And actually the calorie content is higher in cooked carrots because it's been cooked than in the raw carrots.
And there it's the sugar that's getting you.
And
that's what you're avoiding.
Right, exactly.
I think we all kind of know that you want to avoid the sugar. I mean, you eat a Twinkie, it's going to your hips, that sort of thing. And you want to avoid, fried foods and that sort of, cooked fat. And there are these things that we're aware of. Are there any kind of surprising sources of weight gain that maybe we aren't looking out for?
Yeah, absolutely. People think, for instance, that cheesecake might be a good example of that, especially this time of year.
Cheesecake's going to make you fat, right? I mean, we know that.
It depends on how much you eat of it. Of course,
okay.
It's a quantity thing too. But for instance, the New York style cheesecake that's made with cream cheese has a much higher fat content than the cheesecake that's the Italian style, which is made usually with ricotta cheese, and often they use a part skim ricotta cheese. Sometimes they might use a whole milk ricotta, but still, ricotta has less fat than cream cheese does.
So even in that sense, where we're looking at basically the same type of dessert, there's a huge difference between just two different kinds of it.
Absolutely.
And that's the kind of thing people can look out for.
So people can go more for an Italian cheesecake and enjoy it rather than having the New York, cheesecake.
Well, what about, you were talking about with the vegetables, the cooked versus the raw. Is it important for, to maintain a good weight to eat more raw foods then?
Well, the advantage of doing more raw foods, actually, Dan, is the fact that it has more fiber, so it's more filling.
Okay.
And fiber also will interfere with the absorption of calories and fat to some degree too. So, but the thing is, to be healthy, we need to do both cooked vegetables and as well as raw. So broccoli raw might be a good example. So if you prepare broccoli raw with olive oil and garlic, that actually is very beneficial for us.
It sounds good too.
It is. It's right. It's tasty. Even the aroma of it, cooking is very tasty too. And then not to forget, we need a little bit of good quality salt to help us digest our food better too. Because when you digest better, you metabolize better as well, and that's another big factor too. But even taking a look at fruits, for instance, eating a raw apple, has less calories than if you ate the same amount in weight of a cooked, let's say poached apple or a cooked apple.
Or applesauce.
Or apple stew or applesauce, right, exactly. So because the fiber is there and the enzymes are present in the raw apple, which you don't have in the cooked
So you don't want to get rid of cooked food. You just want to make sure you're striking a healthy balance.
Exactly. Include both. In other words, they always include both. Like always have something raw in each of your meals.
Oh, okay.
Like for breakfast,
maybe do a piece.
Yeah, exactly. Have a piece of fruit, raw fruit for breakfast. Let's say along with whether you're having cereal or eggs or whatever you eat for breakfast. Lunch, always include a really good salad. And then same thing with dinner. Have your cooked veggies, but also maybe have some raw veggies along with that too.
That sounds great. And I think that's something a lot of people don't really think about when they're trying to keep their weight down, to incorporate the raw food. But that makes a lot of sense now that you've explained it.
Good.
I also know that you've given out kind of your batch of tips for helping keep off the holiday weight as people go into the holiday season in your newsletter, in Personalized Nutrition Monthly. And if you'd like to see a copy of that, you can go to the link below, and you can get both this current issue and past issues as well. And I think people might get a little bit of extra help doing that.
Sure.
But thank you so much for the information, Dina. It's been very helpful. Of course, thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
Enjoy your holidays.